everybody, it's Megs, and you're watching YB Lamron. So welcome back to my station. I know it's been like 3 years since I've actively posted. Like, the long and short of it is a lot of really crappy things happened. I feel like I got betrayed, abandoned. A lot of it was probably my fault. There's a lot of shit that went down, but I have my second pole dance studio now. So if y'all remember, I had one in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico before my teachers destroyed me, and opened 2 studios separately. And I was kind of run out of town because I'm American. So goodbye to that whole situation. I love Puerto Rico for its beaches and sun, but I'm not starting a business there anytime soon. So I'm back in the old US of A. Happy 250th birthday. And I just wanted to say hey and talk about a few things going on in my life. The first one being, is anybody watching Let's Marry Harry on Netflix? I love dating shows. I don't know if anybody knows my story with dating shows, but I was on 3 of them in Los Angeles when I first moved there like 15 years ago. It was like 2011 now, and I went to LA because I wanted to be an actress. And I had a documentary called Divorcing God, which you can watch on my YouTube station, about marriage and divorce and this couple that didn't kiss before they got married. And I wanted to do more documentaries and movies and kind of be a part of the creative scene. So I moved to LA. I packed up my Mustang convertible, gray with South Carolina plates, and I drove cross country by myself, and I stayed outside of LA with some guy that I barely knew who's having people over. I'm sleeping on the couch, and I found an apartment, and I just started a life there. I worked at the Laugh Factory as a cocktail waitress for a couple of years. I tried to act. I did a lot of background work, which is just so embarrassing looking back on it, because you get paid very little and you kind of get treated like a herd of cattle, and it's long hours. Anyway, whatever. I was surviving. And then what else did I do out there? Oh, dating shows. I was on 3 dating shows. So a lot of people don't know this, but you get on a list with some of these casting directors, and they ask you to audition for these shows. So I kept on auditioning for them and getting these little roles. One of them was on Iliza Shlesinger. She had oh, please, nobody look this up. Iliza Shlesinger is a comedian, and she had this show back in the late 2010s where she would just rib on people. They put people in a house, and then you match, and they eliminate different girls.
Pick the 4 that you like the best, let them in the house. All the rest will be excused, okay?
Sweet action. All right.
Hey guys, I can get in all the clubs for free and love to party and need someone to come with me. How about you let me in so we can get ready to go?
She looks like a slam pig. I definitely know the kind.
Gross. What do you think? Normal one?
She kind of has that Peggy Bundy hair all.
Big hair. In or out?
Out.
Is BET doing a black version of the Drew Carey show? Beat it, Mimi. You're excused.
I like this show.
Hello boys, I'm a lawyer and I have a firm dancer's body.
I'd like to meet her in the judge's chambers.
I got some briefs she could rummage through.
I got a bench she can approach.
She can bang my gavel anytime.
She looks like she has mega bombs.
That's not a court joke.
I mean, we're talking this is a 1-day shoot. I'm making $80, but back then it was important, and you needed it. And you bring your own wardrobe for these C-level dating shows. So I was on this with Iliza, and she had me in a room afterward and just is making fun of me and my date. And I just thought she was the freaking funniest comic. And I kind of was I love comedy. I was really looking up to her. I just moved to LA. I didn't know anything about comedy. I'd been to a couple of comedy shows out in North Carolina, South Carolina, where I lived before that. And I'd just gotten a divorce, and I am about 30. So I'm not a kid, okay? So I was on that one. I was on another one, something Who Wants to Date a Comedian? And it was just a 1-day shoot where you meet some guys. I think we were at like some go-kart track or something. And
Oh, wow, hi. We're on the steps, a step hug.
My first impression of Charlie was that he seems like a really fun guy. I liked the hat, I like the whole edgy vibe he's got going on.
How are you doing, Maggie?
I'm good, how are you?
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo!
Yeah.
You look a little familiar.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Why would you be familiar? You on TV or do you work somewhere that I might have been or what?
Have you been to the Laugh Factory?
The Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
Yes, I have been to the
Okay,
Laugh Factory.
I cocktail there.
Oh, you're a cocktail waitress
Yeah.
at the Laugh Factory.
Uh-huh.
Wait a second. Why are you on the show? You could date any comedian you want. You work at a comedy club. Maggie has an awesome body. Right when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, this girl is in great shape. Okay, now let's bring out girl number 3. Oh, mercy me. Do any of the 3 of you have musical talent?
I rap, actually.
You rap?
Yeah, I have like an MC name,
What is your MC name?
MC Goldilocks with 2 X's.
Can you do some of your raps?
Now you may rhyme unconditional, but if you want original, just give me some time and I will speak you some rhymes. I'm growing up in A-Town, so you know I get down.
Wow. I never wanted to sleep with Snoop Dogg before.
Awesome.
Now, Maggie, do you have musical talent?
I can do this.
This is like being on a date with Tim Burton or something. It's not musical, but I'll tell you what. If you do the fish hook, you two could make a little fish noise.
I'll just rap about fish, you do the noise, and you do the hook. This girl's got a fish hook in her mouth. This boy's from NC acting like he's from the South. Wearing a jean jacket, he just wants to smack it.
Now that's cool.
Let's go play some golf. Yo, we're gonna whack it. He likes his fish hook in his mouth. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
and then like you pick somebody at the end.
Again, you're both fantastic, and I based it on everything that we did today and chemistry and the whole thing. And I think that the person that I would like to date for real is Natalie.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd like to date Natalie. And Maggie, you're so great, and I think that you would be good for me as well, but I felt a certain chemistry with her that I feel with you in a way, but you work at a comedy club, and I'm worried that I would see you every night when I come in there to work there. That could be weird.
maybe I'm a little too normal to date a comedian, so if that's the case, it's his loss.
But I'm sorry, this is the end for us. That's my little goatee touching.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
But thank you, and I'll see you at the comedy club.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Oh well, maybe some other time. See you, Charlie. I know I'm probably gonna have to beat women off of him with a stick, but I have good aim. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that comedian like years later when I worked as a manager of Helium in, Philadelphia. And I was like, I hope this guy doesn't remember that I was on that show because like it was just so creepy and weird. And I was on one with Jerry Springer. So you had to like admit a really bad thing you've done to a guy. And I think mine was something like I had taken the keys out of his car while he was driving or something. I feel like that's really not that bad, but maybe it is. Maybe it says I'm a little psycho. But the big one that I was on was Eva Longoria back in like 2014 or so, had a show with NBC. And there was these guys that were semi-famous, and the one that I was supposed to be like hooked up with was the drummer from the Plain White T's. And he is like tall and blonde and really cute. And then they brought us like all to a hotel not too far from the airport. They had us tested for like STDs and psychological screening. And then you like get ready to go on set, but you can't leave your room. They bring you your meals through room service, and you kind of like stay there sequestered for a few days before you get on. And they pay you, but like not that much money. So I am like the world's stupidest person, or at least I used to be. I mean, I am maybe right now also, but I quit my job as a waitress at the Laugh Factory, which I was making very good money, to go on this dating show because I thought like, I'm gonna really be connected with this drummer guy. I had done a lot of research on him, and I go to the hotel, and I go through all the screenings, and it's the day of the actual, like the first day of the shoot. Oh, another thing that happened is they dyed my hair. This was kind of a big deal, and they dyed it darker. And back then I had these like, you know, the blonde streaks from the sun, and I really liked my light brown hair, but when they dyed it, it turned out like dark orangey black. It was like startling. If you're a girl and you've had your hair dyed like too dark, it's just like, oh shit, I like look horrible. So I like called the producer, and I'm like freaking out about my hair. I kind of wanted it to go back to what it was. And I think that showed them like I'm going to be a pain in the ass, because the next morning I got a knock on the door and it was literally a driver. Maybe it was a producer, but they were like, get your stuff. The driver's going to be like taking you back to your apartment in like North Hollywood. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have a job. I didn't even get on the show. I really fucked up with the hair thing. And then they told me that I failed my psychological test. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought like I was like smart, psychological. How did I fail that? And they tell me that I was the kind of person that like would say yes to one question and then another question, like I use the knowledge of me saying yes. So I guess it means like I'm highly manipulative or something. I don't know. One time I joined Scientology and they said like my personality was so bad, but they could like help me get my personality from like a C- to an A- with like a couple $1,000s. So I don't know what's going on with all this. Definitely have my issues, but that's for, another video. But so I get asked to leave. I go home, and in the backseat of the car, I'm texting my old manager, and I'm like, hi, it didn't work out. Can I have my job back? And they were like, no, you cannot, because the manager was like ready to be done with me. And I get it, but I really resonated to take this full circle back to Let's Marry Harry. I really resonated with that one girl. I don't remember the first one that got cut. And I'm gonna just speak about like names that, without like using their actual names, I'm gonna use like what they look like, because I can't remember anybody's name. But she got cut first by Harry in this Netflix show. And I was like, that was me. She quit her job. She was like actually delusional that he was gonna pick her, and she's devastated. So like I was thinking about myself and like that level of delusion that it takes to actually think that the show is real and that you're actually going to fall in love with this guy and marry them. I mean, that's what it says the show is about, but it is in the end entertainment. And you can't go into a reality show like letting yourself just be yourself. That was the one thing that I had a high school friend that was in the music industry, and he was like, couldn't believe that I was going to be on this show, and was like, Maggie, whatever you do, don't be yourself. And like, that's what you should not be. Maybe just like enough of yourself so the audience like either builds you as a villain or they build you as the one that they love. But like, that's psychologically manipulative as it is. So I didn't even get that far. So this show bothers me on like so many levels, but I also like love it. I love it. Me and my boyfriend are obsessed with reality shows. We have watched all the Love is Blinds, and I'm not talking just like America. We just finished Love is Blind Argentina season 2. We've seen Perfect Match. We've seen Harry on, what's that other one? I'm blanking on the other one that he was on, but we've seen Harry in 2 different reality shows. And when he first got on, I was like, okay, this guy is a politician. He's giving me some politician vibes, but we'll see what he has to say, because he's giving like this speech about how he really wants to connect with all the girls and how he's changed and he's gone to therapy and his dad passed and he's got these friends here that are gonna like help him pick perfect match. And I'm like, okay, I've dealt with these guys before that are like politician boys, and they'll just tell you what you want to hear with their like eyelashes and their smiles and their blonde hair and blue eyes. And like in the past, of course I'm fooled by them. Who hasn't been fooled by these guys? This is like every single hookup I've ever had has been a guy that's told me what I wanted to hear, because I have a past of being delusional. which comes from a past of my childhood, which you can watch probably earlier videos. I get into it a little bit. But so it bothers me because I don't know who's like producing these, that they pretend that it's about this like deeper connection, but it's still entertainment. And I don't think it can ever be anything but the entertainment. And you have to go on one of those shows like ready to almost step outside of the person you are and be the actor of like, what do you want and how are you going to get there? But like we've seen with the friends watching the girls on the screens, like your shitty self eventually like bubbles up to the top. I'm not saying that like I don't have a shitty self. I probably would be one of the worst, but I don't know, maybe not. I shouldn't say that because I'm not like a mean girl. I tend to like want to build everybody up and, you know, blend in and be like the nice time girl, but also like I'm here for the guy. So like that one girl said, you know, I don't give a shit about the sisterhood. So like I got that. You remember the scene where she ran upstairs and all the girls were like, look at her face. She like smiled and smirked when, you know, I said this, and like they get a little catty. I'd be trying to keep the peace, I think. I don't know. I feel like this experiment, it would be such a mindfuck for everybody, especially the women, that they're sort of like hoard out on these shows. Because let's face it, women and men are just totally different. Women, you know, if you sleep with somebody, you're literally letting a guy enter your body. And that feels, that's like, you know, intimacy. And we get upset and jealous and rageful. And I mean, everybody knows the stereotype of the crazy woman. We're all that way when we, you know, get intimate with a guy. So you have all these women that are just like ready to give themselves away for this guy that, to me, well, I'm older now. I'm 47, so he could be my son, but I still feel like I'm in a 23-year-old brain and body, for whatever that's worth. So like I can enjoy these shows as a young person, but also be like, what the fuck are they? What the fuck is like wrong with these girls? I don't know if he had a type that he told the producers, like long hair, big boobs, very limited tattoos. I mean, you could kind of see from his ex-girlfriend that she was very kind of, yeah, like that. I like the ex-girlfriend though. I like the friends. I'm just going to pivot to something I did like about the show. I liked that guy. I thought he had a lot of good insight. Also, I'm going to just full disclosure in this little chit chat. I only got through episode 3. So please don't give me any spoilers. You can give me some like comments about what you thought about the first 3 episodes. So I'm waiting to see. And I got right to the point. Well, he kissed the 2 girls on the yacht, which I thought was fabulous. You know, I really loved that girl in the yellow bikini. That she was cool. She's like, will you rub some oil on me? And I was like, that girl got game. I respect that. And you have to do what you got to do to go for what you want. I would have not thought about that. I would have wanted to play it a little bit more like demure and coy. And she's like, yeah, like I'm going to get a man by like having him rub my beautiful skin and my beautiful body. And like, it's going to help him want to marry me. And then the girl right after that was like, okay, I loved it. They're getting a massage. And she's like, okay, tells the professional masseuses to go away, which if I was Harry, I'd be like, wait a second, I want that massage. And then she gets on top of him, starts massaging him and rubbing herself on him, and then they start kissing. And I was like, okay, that girl also has game. And then the other girls were just kind of like salty about it and pouty. And I just like, I respected the girls that went for it, but it's just like, do you have to go for it in like where you're giving your body away? So you get his attention, so you're a potential match. And then he ended up kicking her off anyway, because the friends were like, oh, she bragged about how she kissed you and how you like her. And I wasn't like a big fan of that one, the girl that got kicked off. I'm not remembering her name. She was wearing yellow. I'm like not a super fan of any of these girls. There's like one, there's the mom. the mom with the 7-year-old, I mean, she's really pretty. I think she's like, she's interesting to me. She's at least interesting, but I don't know why Harry would want a mom when he could pick from anybody, unless he actually doesn't want kids of his own and he could just like get the benefits of a kid, and then if it doesn't work out, like he doesn't have to pay for it later and child support. I mean, I'm so cynical, but I'm old. Anyway, that's just like gonna be my take today. We're going to continue to talk about this. I want to have my boyfriend on here to get his thoughts. So if you like this video, if this is like something you're interested in talking about, comment below. Please subscribe. I'm going to start like talking more about dating shows and like some, because that's what I like. It's what I watch when I'm at home, you know, Netflix and chilling. I'm watching dating shows. So I'm like, why don't I just talk about this? And then I'll continue to tell you things about my life as we like, you know, get back into this. But anyway, have a great day. Nice to see you, and see you next time.